All right, how's everybody doing? This is Pat. I'm back. Patrick, call me Pat for short, but I'm back. I said I was gonna come and do another video on the website that we was going over, the govdeals.com. We're gonna go back in and we're gonna do a part two. And this part two is we're gonna go over a little bit more information about it, but we're gonna go over the bidding process. So I'm gonna get right into that. Not trying to make this thing that long. I know I did get a couple of questions from the last video, and these videos are really about just trying to get this information out, because as I talk to people about this, there's not a lot of people that really understand. They understand that there's online auctions and stuff like that, but actually dealing with them, not a lot of people that I know have really dealt with these things. There's probably a lot of businesses and organizations that use these tools. So that's really the purpose of really getting this information out. It's not really to change nobody's perspective. It's really to give you just some valuable tools that we can use, man, whether it's in our personal life, our business life, or whatever it is that we may need to, get an advantage in. And I think that's something that a lot of us need to know right now, because there's a lot of things we could be doing, and we're spending more money to do it, or we're spending more resources to do it. And so this is just one of the tools that that I've used, on several occasions, and it has helped me out a lot. And so that's what I really wanted to do for everybody else. Look at the tools and be able to use them, properly based on your situation and circumstance. As I said before, of course, there's some people that I use this for cars, but as I said, it has every other thing, so many other things on it. But some people just like to take the conventional route. And I understand it. I'm not trying to knock anybody else's, way they deal with things, but these things can definitely be a tool to you. And different people have different opinions. Like if you're not that resourceful, meaning you don't, research and doing things yourself, you might see it as I don't want to buy that raggedy stuff on there. Most of the stuff on here, it comes from fleets, it comes from government organizations, and it comes from, companies that have to keep some kind of maintenance up on this stuff, which is a good thing. But, as far as being able to check it out, as far as going to pick the stuff up, being able to, of course, have the cash to do these things, and just being able to do research. Because when I'm telling you, I want you to go research too. I don't want you to just take what I'm saying. I want you to go look at the site, find somebody that may have dealt with it, because somebody else could have dealt with it and they could have had a bad experience. I haven't. As I said, I bought something off here 4 times. I haven't had a bad experience. Somebody else could have. So it's just like anything else. You would look at reviews, but I just want to give out this information so that we'll have it and be able to use it if we want to use it. I'm gonna share the screen right quick so that we can all right. So hopefully we can see that. This is gonna go back for those that you didn't get to see the first video. Once you register your account, which will be free, you just go up here and you look for search location. You put in your zip code in, how far you want to go from that. And I'm going to put 500 miles. And I'm just going to go for all vehicles. And my keyword is vehicle. And we're going to submit that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick something and see if I can find something. Okay. Okay, what's the date? Okay, so we'll use this. I'm just going to use this Charger. All right. Now, just say for instance, if I was interested in it, and I'm, maybe not, but what I would do is I would go down here. This information tells me where it started. I started at $150. It's been 33 bids. It's now up to $2,125. The minimum bid you can bid to get in is $2,150. Now, this thing right here was what really kind of got me when I first got in, because I started using it and I started bidding, and it seemed like I could never win an auction. I was like, man, this stuff don't work. Like, oh, it's too many people on here. I was even doing one. I remember I used to work at nights a few years ago, at third shift. And I was thinking, well, maybe I'll get on here, at night when everybody else is asleep, and I will be able to win one. And man, I was on at night, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was bidding. And every time I bid, they would send me an email and say, you've been overbid, you've been overbid. And I was like, hi, I know nobody is not up, that late at night doing this. But what I realized that I wasn't understanding all the tools that went along with this. As you see here, you have a auto bid, and you have place your bid. You have auto bid here. So what I wasn't using was auto bid. So auto bid works like this, which is really simple. If you see the price right here, the current bid right now is at 21.25, right? So the next person come in and say, I'm gonna bid 22 or 23. And as soon as you bid that, they say you overbid. It's doing that because there's an auto bid price in here. They don't show you. So say for instance, if somebody comes in and says, I'll pay $3,000 for that. So what they do is they put the auto bid number in. So they put the 3,000 in, and it's an auto bid. And so what they're going to show you on here is still this price. They're not going to show you the auto bid because the auto bid is hidden. And so you won't know you won't know until you get to the 3,000. So when you get to the 3,000, if you put the 3,000 in, then somebody will say, and they get up and they meet you at the 3,000, they'll say somebody has overbid you. But until somebody gets there, everybody else that's just looking at this, they're going to be going back and forth, 22, 23, 24, 25. And it's going to keep saying you've been outbid, outbid, outbid. And what it's going to look like is that you're currently online at the same time somebody else is, and they keep bidding over you. But in most cases, that's not what it is. Somebody put an auto bid price in. So if you see, whatever a car or whatever it is, and you're willing to pay, you say, well, man, I'll pay 3,000 or 35. You can just go ahead and put that price in. And that works particularly well when it gets closer to the end, because this one has 4 days left. I wouldn't even mess with them when they got that many days left. Yeah, I like to get down to the last 24 hours, or the last 12 hours or whatever, because you get a better understanding on where the car stands. And you also get a better understanding on what you have to put up in an auto bid standpoint to win the auction. I mean, well, most people are gonna see it like that. And so the people that we understand this, it's best to put in, especially if you come in the auction and everybody's going back and forth, because people want to pay the less that they possibly can pay, right? That's the purpose of coming to an auction. And if you go up 500 or you go up 1,000 or 800, you're going to win the auction. Now, the key point that you have to understand, if it's 2,200 and you put 3,000, you don't have to pay 3,000. What you have to do is pay over what that last person opposite of you bid. So if it's 2,200 and you put 3,000 and nobody comes close to 3,000, say they get to 26, that's what you have to pay, 26. You don't have to pay. The auto bid just means what you were protecting yourself from other bidders, so you went higher. But you don't have to pay the auto bid. The last van that I won, that I showed you all, which was this one. Yeah, this is my buyer certificate. I did that. I ended up paying, what was it, 23 for it. But my auto bid payment, I think I had on it was, I think it was 25 or 26. But the last person just got, I think they got up to 2,200 or something like that. And so I had to just pay over what they had on. If y'all understand it, auto bid is a number that you can put in that can give you control over the auction, but it doesn't mean you don't have to pay that. You just have to pay what the last person bid that was under you. So if they bid, if you had 3,000, as I'm trying to explain this as clear as I can, if you had 3,000 on there and it's at 22, 21, like this one right here now, and people kept going back and forth and they stopped bidding at 2,600, well, you have to pay 2,600 plus your taxes. So that's an important feature to understand, because like I said before, they have everything. They have how many people looked at this, 218, and so you can see how many people looking at it. And also this right here says bid watch. even if you're not, sometimes when you're not, even if you haven't bid on it yet, you just want to see where the price is at, you can add that and they're going to send you emails letting you know how far the car has gone. Particularly like now, it's got 4 days left. I'm not going to watch it. I'm interested in it, but let me see how far in 2 or 3 days, how far it goes. So I just put a bid watch and they'll send that stuff. They'll send the information to you on where that car is at on a regular basis, all the way up to the time that it gets sold. And you can even come back and see how much that they bought the car for, how much they won the auction for. So these things are important because I won't want anybody to start using this to get frustrated. Because like I said, it definitely happened to me. And this is another thing too, the days, like you don't wanna use that bid watch because sometimes people get excited, they start pre-bidding. Like, I mean, like this car started at $150. I mean, now they pre-bidding, like they done went over $2,000 in pre-bidding. When I say pre-bidding, I mean you're bidding on the car way before it's time, you know, the auction expires. That just runs the price up. Most of these cars don't have a reserve on it. I mean, they're just trying to get rid of the inventory. And for those who don't know, a reserve is a minimum price that they take. Most of these cars don't have reserves. I think I've maybe seen maybe 2, 3 auctions that had reserves on them. So I think this is kind of detrimental. It's kind of counterproductive. And I understand there are people everywhere that are bidding and they're trying to get in, but I you know, because the closer you stay to 150, the less you're gonna pay. You know, I mean, you got 4 days left and you got it up to 2,000. So this car probably end up going, I don't know when the last person that bid, that's 33 bids. I don't know how long it's been on here, but it'll probably end up going for maybe a little over 3,000. You know, because it's the bid increments are $25. So you can go like right now, you can go 21.75. You know, and if nobody's put an auto bid on here, that'll be what y'all are going back and forth on. So I'm estimating on that, but just trying to give a good example of that. So that we have a good understanding of when you come here, that's what you're gonna, you know, and so you, and also your buyer's premium too is 12.5. The same thing I paid for the last car I just got like a month ago. And so whatever the price is 3,000, you're gonna end up paying a little bit over 300, maybe $320, whatever, in the buyer's premium. So yeah, just understand those two. The bid watch is important. Being able to use this auto bid is gonna really be important because, like I said, you don't want to be out here just running back and forth, and somebody's already got the bid locked in at a higher number. So if you, like you said, that, like I said before, that'll frustrate you. But so I mean, that's pretty much on this particular video. Just understanding those particular tools when you get in. As I told y'all before, you always have the option when you as far as questions, you always have the option to call the place. So let's see what's going on down here. I don't really see nothing too much new. Let's see. No. You can go through, just look. I come on here every other day because I do understand, man. It's just it's really about, you know, them posting this. So excuse me, so many different organizations are posting on a regular basis. You want to get back, come back and just check out what they might put that's new. And just keep a line on them and what they have, what they don't have. Now I can't lie to me and say I know how everybody's attitude is going to be, but what you want to do to whatever you're interested in, you know, before you even buy it, you can go down here, and they had a lot of questions on that. And you can see that Bob Carson is the contact, and you can call them. Because the questions, you know, they putting questions on here, but if you want to be, you know, thorough about what you're doing, you can, you know, go right down here and call them. And another thing too that you have to understand too, it's just not about just calling them about a vehicle. It's also about establishing a relationship. Because say like this particular place like here, which is Columbia, South Carolina, they have a lot of vehicles on here all the time. I think they got like 32 total vehicles on here right now. They sell a lot of vehicles. So everything from vans to these Tahoes to, you know, Impalas and Chargers, they sell a lot of them. So you might want to try to build your relationship up with Bob, because Bob might end up selling you something. I'm not talking about him in general. I'm just talking about the whole aspect of this. Because the more and more you deal with people, the more familiar you get with them. And like I said, the more the relationship that you can build up, because I have tried it before myself. And I still do it. Like if I, you know, buy a vehicle or win an auction for someone, I call the people back and talk to them, or, you know, try to establish, you know, relationship with them, because it might be a situation where you might be able to bypass the auction. I'm not just saying that's logical, but I'm just saying human nature, relationships. So these are just things to keep in, you know, just to keep in mind. Because when you're doing this, you know, with these government agencies, it's always going to be a personal contact, and you know, you're always thinking of how you can get past the average process like everybody else. So that's going to be pretty much it on the second video. There's not really a lot that I can remember that I had to go over. I just wanted to hit that. And as I said before, put your questions and comments in the description. If you don't have a question, maybe you got a comment, maybe about your experience with govdeals.com or any other site. I do have some other sites that I'm going to post up. I just didn't want to put all that in one video. I don't want to clutter it up. I like to make them shorter as possible, straight to the point, so that we can get to what we're doing, and then, you know, you can put your questions and comments in. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to see you all next time. Like I said, you know, just go in, look at the content, see what you think, put those questions down there, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Peace. See you next time.